Pikeeper enables some of the most heinous acts in this game. Don't believe me? Watch this. And before I get started, I want to clarify that freshie kinda deserved it. If you wanna see, just peep him, like, flying through this wall. I did try warning you guys. I did say that power creep would come to the game, and lo and behold, we got the Wormtooth, and shortly after, the Pikeeper. And to say that they aren't power creep, well, you'd be delusional. The Pikeeper is such a clear and cut case on power creep that I don't really think that it needs to be discussed on what makes it a power creep. But I will anyways, because there are several people who do have a misconception of what makes it so good and why it doesn't fit the game. And it's not really because of the reasons that people think it is, but it does have some reasons to do with it. First of all, it's the Pikeeper offers 5 criticals. 5 criticals is a lot for one weapon, and that's not because of maybe the damage that it can do with these criticals, it's the options that it gets with these criticals. Every weapon has like 1 critical, sometimes 2, because, you know, they decide to be funky with it, and then 3 with the Imperial staff. And I feel like 3 was like, you know, I was kind of pushing it, but makes sense, I guess. That weapon was kind of lacking in other aspects, so might as well give it 3 crits. But then you give an attuned weapon, legendary weapon, with insane damage and insane mix-up potential with a lot of different crits, which it can use in different scenarios. This is power creep to a maximum.
For the love of God! Please! Damn! Damn!
And let me explain why. Now, attuned legendary weapons usually get 1 to 2 crits, and they're also capable of applying their elemental status effect on the enemy. And that is a huge thing that they can do. This makes attuned legendary weapons, and legendary weapons in general, just really strong, because they get 1, more options than other weapons, and 2, they can apply their status effects onto enemies. But at, of course, the down cost of not having an enchant be able to be compatible with them. But as of late, it kind of feels like they've started to scrap this idea. We've given Wormtooth a legendary weapon with 1, with 2 crits, and then also capable of using those crits right after each other, doing the sliding crit into then the standing crit. But it's also enchant compatible, and because of this they also said, oh, let's make the Railblade also enchant compatible. And I don't feel like that was a specifically good shot to call, and I'll get into that a bit later. Now, a variety of weapons in use are quite small within the game's meta, and that's mostly because of the fact that power creep to this extent exists. If you keep adding weapons with multiple criticals and base effects which are stronger than normal weapons, there'll be no reason to use normal weapons. We can take, for example, the Warden Ceremonial Sword, which just recently got its own unique critical. It's cool, it's got a unique critical, it's good, nice to use, but why would you use that when you can use a Pikeeper with 5 criticals, which covers the weak spots that the Warden Ceremonial crit can probably cover as well as covering other weak spots which the Warden Ceremonial crit cannot. And that's the issue with the power creep that they're adding right now. Adding more options to crits just infinitely makes versatility and variety of other weapons completely redundant. Now, before all of these new weapons, the argument was that you couldn't enchant them, which is a huge loss from these weapons, which is why attuned legendary weapons were so hyped, because they had a base enchant functioning with it, as well as some cool crits to go with them, and they were rare. But now that you're adding these legendary weapons, which can be enchanted, like the Wormtooth, and now they're adding enchants back to Railblade, you can't make the same argument anymore. None of these legendary weapons are staying unenchantable. It's not even sure that Light's Final Toll will stay unenchantable. That thing will also probably be enchantable. And that's the issue that's going on, is that why would you use a normal weapon? Like I said before, there would be no point, because everything else covers what a normal weapon can do, but these legendary weapons just do it better in every way possible. The enchants that they can use have more versatile functions than a normal weapon would usually, and their criticals are stronger, better, and just offer way more than what a normal weapon would. And that's really the big issue. Now, I saw Yayafino make a response to the accusations that the weapon is bad and not suited for the game, and Yayafino's response was, it's cool, don't you guys want cool stuff? Now, I'm not going to bash Yayafino, because he has made a bunch of cool stuff for the game, and I'm really excited to what he is capable of doing, but that wasn't the right thing to say. That was horrible. That might have been one of the worst things you can say. That's not an excuse for making something that is so fundamentally broken that it's literally changing how the game is going to be going forwards. Adding this many criticals for a weapon, giving it this much potential, it's just not sustainable. It's really not going to be sustainable, because either they're going to have to do this for every single weapon that exists in the game, or they're going to have to remove it, or else this weapon is just going to be way too strong, and it's always going to be shaping the meta around it, unless they nerf it into the ground. And that's not going to be fun either. Now, we shouldn't bash Yayafino because of this, because Yayafino is incredibly important to the game's overall health and state, and without Yayafino, it would be a huge hit to Deepwoken, and I wouldn't want that, because Yayafino is ultimately really good for the game, and no one should bash him for that. It's not fair on Yayafino, because he just wanted to make something cool for the community. But Yayafino should also be able to take the criticism of something that he's made, and might have to tweak it because of it. Because the game, it is fundamentally changed now forever, because of the Pikeeper. I hope you guys can forgive me about my really bad upload schedule as of late, but I've been pretty busy with uni, and I've also been trying to get this weapon because I wanted to make this video for a while, and I didn't think it was fair to make a criticizing video if I haven't even used it myself. So I really wanted to get all of that out there. And then, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Subscribe, join the Discord where I do my streams every Friday. Otherwise, I'll just have to see you guys in the next one. Peace.